All right, everybody, as promised, I am back with a brand new movie review. And I just got back from seeing the Marvel film, The Marvels. Oh my gosh. You know what? What in the world did I just watch? What in the freaking world did I just watch? How they released this movie is beyond me. I'm going to tell you what I equate this movie to, and then I'm going to talk about why they made it, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the movie itself. I'm going to keep this spoiler-free, okay? So here's how I liken this movie and what I equate it to. This is like you being a boy who loves Transformers, G.I. Joe, superheroes, right? You have all your toys as a kid. And you have a younger sister. And you go to do something. You get called away. Your parents have you go do yard work or whatever. And when you come back inside the house, your sister, your younger sister, has hijacked your toys. And they're having tea parties. They're having musical numbers. And you're like, what just happened? That's what this movie is. I don't know what I just watched, okay? First of all, I almost fell asleep halfway through this movie. Like, I came that close to just falling asleep. This movie was just jammed together. This movie should have never happened. Here's why they made this movie. Because of diversity. That's the whole reason this movie was ever made. To check mark all the boxes. And this one does. And pay attention to the credits, because when the credits roll, this was written by women. It was directed by women. This was an agenda movie through and should have never been made. This is what happens when you check mark those boxes. I guarantee you the three women who wrote the screenplay for this, I guarantee you that they are not Marvel fans and they don't know Marvel lore. This was a movie just hobbled together, okay? I just don't understand how things have gotten this bad. If you look at where we came from Iron Man to Captain America to Thor to especially Captain America 2 Winter Soldier to what this movie is, oh, we have fallen quite far. All right, so was this movie a complete disaster? No, it wasn't. First of all, you have the most unlikable character in the DC universe, Carol Danvers. That character, to this day, don't know what she does. She obviously destroys a lot of stuff. That's what she is. She's good at flying through ships and flying through things to destroy them. That's about, and that she's aptly named in this movie too. When you find out what is actually going on with the storyline, and they still have not defined who she is and exactly, what her powers are. It's ridiculous the amount of power that she has. Let's put it that way. You have Kamala Khan, who plays Miss Marvel. Now, I never saw the show, but you catch up pretty quickly at the beginning. They do this weird cartoonish montage to get you caught up on who she is, which was fine. And then you also have Rambo, which is basically Carol Danvers' aunt. And in this film, they constantly are changing powers. You'll find out why in the movie. I'm going to keep this spoiler-free. But there's this villain that shows up and starts wreaking havoc. She gets a hold of this amulet bracelet type thing at the beginning of the movie, and then all hell breaks loose. And then she goes on a rampage, basically wanting to destroy civilizations that are somehow tied to Captain Marvel. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you about this movie. I can't really tell you anything more in depth or give it a true review on the story because the story was freaking terrible. The beginning had a pretty good setup, and then the very end was pretty good. The middle kind of ruined everything. And in fact, the payoff at the end is completely emotionless. It's dumb, and you are going to want to stick around. There's a quick scene right before the credits starts, an extra scene, and then there's a middle credit scene, and then there's nothing at the very end. So be aware of that. You don't have to stay until the credits completely end. But, I walked out of this movie just thinking, how did this even get made? How did they sit in the room and say, this is what we're going to release? These studios, Disney, Marvel, Warner Brothers Discovery, how far these studios have fallen. how far they have fallen from the greatness they used to be. And as a fan of these characters and these worlds, it is so disappointing to see. This movie should have never been made. The acting was decent. I thought I was going to hate Kamala Khan's character, Miss Marvel, and I didn't. I was surprised. She's actually a really good actress and played the part well. Still don't like the girl who plays Carol Danvers. She's one of the most unlikable people in Hollywood. And then the girl who played Rambo, her niece, was she did a great job. She was probably the best actor out of all of them in the film. You had Nick Fury also was in this movie, and he doesn't seem like the Nick Fury I remember. Things have changed quite a bit. These characters are not what they used to be. And it's very sad to see what this universe was and what it is now. The people have totally mishandled these properties. It's just terribly, terribly sad to see. All right, so there's my review. Let me give you my final score on this. Let's talk about this. So I will tell you I'd watched this before I saw the first Marvel film with Carol Danvers, the first film. That is the worst Marvel film to date, but this one comes in a close second. And it's really sad that they've done this. This is what happens when you push an agenda rather than wanting to tell a decent story. And it's just, I can't even. So out of 5 stars, I give this 2 stars. I can't give it any more than that. So a 4 out of 10. It's as bad as people say it is. So do you need to run out and see this? No, you don't. Do I think this movie is going to have any relevance on the future of Marvel? Well, kinda. Looks like they're putting together an all-female team, and that's all they care about right now. So, yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, there's my review on this film. I will, what do you guys think if you've seen it, and are you going to see it? I'm really curious. Who's going to go see it? Raise your hand. I do appreciate all the support. We will see you on the next review.